good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on which part of the world you are located in. And Tammy and I are coming to you live here from Toronto, Canada. And very soon we're going to be in Daytona Beach. Actually, we're looking forward. It's as of January 2025, we are going to be in Daytona Beach, Florida, as we do every single year for the past, I don't know, 11 years, I think, 11 and a half years, Tammy.
Yeah, and there's a lot of things going on right now with the storm. So sorry to hear all the families that are going through this right now. We don't live in Florida in the hurricane season, but I know that people are getting hit right now. Yeah, so just wanted to think of the people today, Chris, that are going through that. Yeah.
I'm so glad that you brought this in, Tammy. As a matter of fact, I was watching the news, and I know it's on the west side of Florida. I've been
Mhm.
hit pretty hard,
Mhm.
and it's very sad. I know Florida; it's one of the state that is hit the most with hurricanes based on its location, and that was Hurricane. I think it was level 4, which is Elaine, we call her. Quite
Yeah.
aggressive. Okay, so let's keep moving forward. And at this point, folks, we'd like to recognize all of you that are joining us this morning. And thank you for some of you coming bright and early. Some of you have wonderful, wonderful comment. I know Generation Zone, actually, you've mentioned here, Powers Knowledge with Chris and Tammy. You will receive that and much, much more. Stay tuned. Really appreciate that, folks. And Tammy and I, we spent a lot of our resource, our time to put this for you because we know what is going to do for you. We've seen the results of educating people on the what we call the success cycle series. By the way, if you go to the YouTube channel of God Backup and you select the playlist that says success cycle series, you'll notice that the training is there already. And right now, obviously, it's being recorded live, but once it's done, it'll actually be sitting there. And then we have the inviting, we have the following up, third party credibility. These are the 4 modules. There's another one we're going to be redoing, which is the prospecting. These modules are really the foundational steps that we, Tammy and I, have been living by. That has created us. That's Let me rephrase that. That is giving us the opportunity to create an incredible lifestyle for us, and not just for us, but anybody who's been applying these rules. And again, they're not rules. They're just basically knowledge based to help you grow your business. So in moving forward here, just want to keep moving. Robert, thank you for joining us. Fulera, thank you for coming here from Belgium. I know you're from Belgium. We have Kelly Bright from New York. We have Enionam. By the way, Enionam, happy birthday in Ghana.
Birthday to
Accra, Ghana.
you.
Welcome, welcome. Marcus, great to have you here. I'm not sure you're still with us. Let's see. I know you're from London, Ontario. Let's see who we have. We have Michael from okay, Michael. Yeah, from Ontario, Mississauga. Oh, we're just neighbors. The city right beside us. We have Isimbia. Welcome, great to have you here. We have Raymond from Pennsylvania. We have Ladi Leland from Ghana. We have Renee from Ontario. We have lots of folks from Ontario. This is wonderful here. Courtney, hey buddy, how are you? From I think Pickering, Ontario. Let's see. We have Kevin from Utah. Oh, that's such a beautiful state. Just love. It's so beautiful there. Everything is monumental. It's beautiful, especially the music and everything else. It's gorgeous in the summer. Let's see here. We have Terry from let's see here from the USA. We have Larry. We have Johnny from Ghana. We have Windsor from Quebec. Bonjour, Windsor. Ça va bien? Let's see here, Flera. I know I mentioned you already from Belgium. We have Scully from Sweden. Oh, that's a place that we really need to go, Tammy. That's a
Yeah,
beautiful
we
place,
do.
man. Let's see here. We have Yvonne from the UK. And let's see here. We have Akiodot. I need to really learn how to pronounce your name correctly. You know what? If you don't mind on our Telegram, if you don't mind hitting me personally and just record your name so I can get it right. So thank you for joining us from Ghana. I really appreciate that. And Marianne and Leo, thank you for joining us. Okay, so let's get started. So folks, before we get into our training, something that Tammy and I were discussing this morning, I think it's very important to keep in mind here, is as your number one rule. This is one of the things that there's 2 rules that I tell people as they enroll, as they activate their membership with God Backup. Number 1, install the software. If people install the software and their data are uploaded to the cloud, it creates an emotional connection to the tool. because your soul, if you study my meaning, all the pictures, everything you've ever taken, movies, everything, your data from your pieces, and it's all uploaded to the cloud, and it works like a charm, and it works really, really well. But make sure that the users are installing. Number one rule. Number one, if you do that, right away, you're going to retain your associates and customers. Number two, I say the very first thing you want to do, don't worry about the comp plan. Don't worry about figuring all this out. You want to involve one person on your left, one person. You need to find two people that can make use of a service like that. These are the two things that I explain. If they do that, they can work with me. If they don't do that, I will focus on someone that will. Because I know that the person who does not only will earn an income, but they will retain their business and they are going to duplicate the process. So I highly, highly recommend, as we go to the objection training here, these are the two rules that you need to apply. And by doing this by default, I'm telling you, you will grow an organization. So Tammy, should we begin?
Yeah, well, just before we begin, I just want to add another thing is every single time I personally sign somebody up, I obviously want to know what their objective, what their goals are and everything, but I want to make sure that I get them an understanding of their back office. So we go into their back office and we show them the most important things that they need to do. And maybe, Chris, we should do a session on that because not everybody gets that hands-on or knows how to do that hands-on stuff. So that's something that I think that should be part of one of our Saturday trainings.
I totally agree with that. Okay, so let's jump right into our training here, folks. It's not a long training, but it's a training that is probably one of the important fundamental block of creating your business, of building your business, is to deal with objections. And what are the important aspects of handling objections? Let's walk through this. One is you're seeking clarification. That's what's going on. Objections are not, I'm not interested. It may come across that way, but really is, I don't have enough information. Is to try to understanding the vision, understanding what this product does, understanding how do we compare? Are we necessarily better than all the competitors? No, we're not. But do we offer something that nobody does? Absolutely, we do. We give you a lifestyle with this. Over and above that, you have 6 terabytes for the price of 2. So keep in mind, and this is what I love about Gut Backup, is we constantly evolve, right? You don't want to behave like goldfish that, oh, there's food right now. There's no more food. I'm moving somewhere else. I'm moving somewhere else. I'm moving somewhere else. I'm moving somewhere else. And this is the problem, is you want to grow this empire and you want to stay the course. We have something so good here. The vision is so big. Folks, I'm seeing some massive, massive things here that we can do with that. And there's so much space for growth. So people seek to understand, right? And the thing is that it's also important that we deal with, kind of being well-informed. A lot of people are not well-informed. They don't know really what's going on. They don't really fully understand. Gut Backup is way more than just a backup service. There's an email marketing system behind this. There's so much more. They need to, they need to see the bigger picture, not just a piece of software to back up your stuff. It is that, but there's so much more than that. So it's to, again, inform. And also there's the challenge is the limiting belief. Often people, oh, I've done this before. Oh, this doesn't work. All of these are limiting belief, because if you speak to Tammy and I, we have made millions of dollars in this industry. No, let's be frank. Making $1 million is nothing, right? If you've been in a business for 20 years, everybody can make $1 million. You understand what I'm talking about? Just quantify the years. But the point is that we've done that in a short period of time. But there's a reason for that, is our belief is very high. Most people's belief are not there. It has to do with self-limiting belief. We'll talk about that. And the other thing is assumption. So these are the things that we handle when we deal with handling objections. Tammy, was there anything else you want to add to this?
Yeah, I would say work ethic too is a big part of it. The best practice you're ever going to get is being in the field and working with people. This is when you'll master all of this stuff, because handling objections is not selling people on becoming a member. It's not selling them, you guys. Handling objections is getting to know what people's interests are, their concerns are, and Give them what they're looking for. They'll sell themselves. You need to understand that they're going to sell themselves if you bring them value and stories. And you know, we have a saying in our industry, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. If they know you got their back and you genuinely care, they're with you. They stay. Okay, so you need to understand that in working this part of the business, this process of building. Okay, so never walk away. Don't ever walk away and I don't want to bother with that person. You know, they're not this and they're not that, because you just don't know what the underlying of where they're at, and that's why you really got to seek to understand people's concerns, because they may have had a really bad experience, and you can't make a judgment call on one bad experience thinking that it's going to happen everywhere, because it doesn't. I know, because we've had lots of bad experiences and it doesn't happen everywhere. And again, your duty is to educate, it's to build a bridge and to guide people on making a decision. Okay, and only learning experiences. Understand that when you guys are dealing with objections, you're going to get people that are pretty well nice, but you're going to get the odd person that you're that perfect person today because everything's been going bad for me. That you're that perfect person today that I can just take it out on. You're going to have that, you guys, and you got to toughen your skin and not take anything personally, because it's not your stuff. So we really want to embed that in all of you, that it's not your stuff. If it's something that's not for them, love them where they're at. Maybe it's something that they'd be open to have a look at later on when things get better, and keep them on your list. Don't just dump people, because it's just, you know, these are just timing. I always say there's 365 days a year. You catch people on the good timing when they're looking, you got them. If you bring them value and they see the big picture, they're in. Okay, so it's all up to us on how we handle every situation that's happening in our businesses. And always expect questions every single time. Know that somebody's going to have a question. Know that people are going to come with objections. Okay, and it's how you handle it that's going to get the result that you're looking for. Okay, and it's always about them, bringing value, helping them, getting them to see the big picture. It's not about you. Okay, so yeah, and never ever prejudge, because you just never know. You never know who's going to be your next diamond leader. Okay, so yeah, don't project them. So, anyways, yeah, go ahead, Chris.
You know, I absolutely agree, Tammy. And something, folks, keep in mind that nobody's perfect, right? None of us are perfect.
Yeah.
Even the company, nobody's perfect. Sometimes there will be some error in judgments. Things happens, right? So don't walk away just because there's one, you know, rock in the way that you need to go over. And this is what objections are all about. And I think one of the reasons Tammy and I had so much success in his business is because we see the world from a different perspective based on the training that we've acquired in this environment, in this industry. And handling objection, it's probably one of the best classes we've ever done in our entire career.
Yeah.
Because it got us to look at things from a different perspective, not from the perspective that everybody see from the outside that don't really know what's really going on. And let me shift to that slide to give you a better understanding what I'm talking about. Is there's those 4 core beliefs. People, and I'm telling you, some really high profile people, their core beliefs often they are challenges there. And those core beliefs are going to be the results of often why you're going to make a decision, or maybe how you feel about whatever it is that you try or you do. And the reason maybe the lack of results or the non-results or the deceptions or whatever you may come across could often have to do with your core beliefs, right? Lack of belief is a powerful universal objection. For example, lack of belief in the network marketing industry. We know that's a stigma for many people. And the industry of network marketing is pure. It is beautiful. It is an equal playing field for everyone, right? There's no discrimination in network marketing. It doesn't care who you are, and what you do. What it cares about is what you bring to the table. It's neutral. But unfortunately, us as humans, we tend to create situation and environment based on our core belief that will try to instill other to follow our belief because this is how we feel. But the core reasoning of network marketing is pure. What I love about a compensation plan, it's a profit sharing pool. As the company grows, we grow. So it's a beautiful industry. And the other thing is your belief in the company. Let's say the company turn around and makes a bit of a judgment call, right? And they make a change, they make an announcement, and it could have been a judgment call, and all of these things could be rectified really easily if you just sit down and discuss and figure out, okay, how do we work around that? Instead of getting upset and throwing the towel, which is often what people do. Why? Core belief. Oh, I've seen this before. I've seen that before. That's what. See, what's happening here, folks, is your core belief in a company is very important because it will have an impact into how you will project the opportunity to someone else, the product, the pay plan, all of these things. So I can tell you that I have a very strong belief. Are we perfect? No. But what I love is the company is very receptive and open to evolve and learn. That is one of the most important skills. And I've been in this business. I've been in this business for a long time. And to partner with people that are willing to partner with you, that is freaking awesome. I don't see that often. This is a gift. This is a company that is fairly new. Now, GVO is not new. It's been around for 25 years or so, more. But God Backup, the division, has been around for less than 2 years. And folks, when it hits momentum, I'm not kidding. It will, because we have a product everybody can afford and an opportunity that can really change the lifestyle of many. Doesn't matter where you live and doesn't matter what your financial situation may be, because there's an entry point that everybody can do. Do you see that? Do you deliver that as you share, right? And the thing is also you as an upline sponsor, right? So you're often what's happening is it could be a lack of belief of the person you work. And again, that's fine. Move up, right? There's other people on the line. It's not just the person who brought you in. There's other people on the line that have an invested interest for you to succeed all the way up to the company. But above all, it's the belief in themselves. And it's probably one of the most damaging core belief that I see in building this business is the belief that you can actually succeed. That is what you need to work on. That's why we do these trainings, to educate you, to provide you the information that we are utilizing to help us evolve. So important. Belief is the key of every decision and achievements. Your core belief is so important. And folks, I recommend you start reading. Mm-hmm. Start reading. Start educating yourselves. A lot of folks don't spend 2 minutes evolving. And that is so important. Why do we spend so much time on that? Because we can tell you how to deal with the objections, but if the core beliefs are not there, it doesn't matter what we tell you, because you're not going to be equipped to handle someone that might be a bit bigger than you are. You need to move up in the mindset and the way you perceive yourself. This is how you become successful. It's not by signing up and hopefully someone's going to put people underneath me. That's a recipe for failure to think that way. It's your business. It's your responsibility. If I start a business or I build my own house and I choose to become my own contractor to build my own house, it's my responsibility. And the results that my house will look like, it's going to be based on my decisions, who I hired and who I choose to partner with to build, to put this project together. But it starts with my belief. Can I do this? Am I able to achieve that? So I'm spending on time on that because I want to make sure you're aware of your 4 core beliefs, because that will play a very important aspect in the results that you're going to get. So tell me anything else before I move on to the next slide.
Yeah, and people follow people with strong beliefs too, right? So that's very, very important. They're always watching us. Everybody that we bring into the business, they're checking to see what we're doing in our business. And if they see us moving, if they see us walking the talk, then they're going to move forward. But if they see that you're, behind the scene and you're not doing anything, then don't expect really active business partners. So that's why it's so important to work on yourself and always practice. Like what we're teaching today, go and apply it after this session is done. Talk to somebody who you recently introduced to the opportunity and go through finding out what it is that's missing for them to make a decision to get started. It's really that simple, right? So on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the highest, where are you right now in your decision on getting started? That's when the objections come in. That's when the questions come in. Based on the question that you're going to ask them, it's going to move them closer to making a decision. So learn to ask really good questions to move them forward. And I gave a group that was on one of our sessions, Chris, and I think we put it in the group, all the group platforms. I think you even put it on the boards on those questions that I did a PDF document for them. That was a while back, but always go through our trainings. If you haven't gone through the full training, or maybe you've gone through, you need to listen to it again, do it, because that's how you become better. But then you're going to learn, I sent a PDF, Chris posted it here, and then you're going to be able to access all of this stuff. But you're going to have objections. Understand that. That's part of the process. There's nothing fearful or bad about this. They just want to know, they really want to know if you're going to be there for them. They really want to know if this really works. They really want to know if it's something that they can really make happen for themselves. That's really what they want to know. Okay. And if they throw objections of, and we'll go through a few of them. I think, Chris, you have a bunch of slides there that talks about some objections. We'll share some experiences on the same, on different slides, but no time. Honestly, you guys, if people see value, they'll find time. They will. They'll find time to do this if they see value. No money. Again, if they see value and they know that it's an easy process by introducing somebody to have a look at something, and they can make, $20 or $50 up front by getting somebody to come on monthly, getting somebody to come on yearly. When they see the value of all of this, then they'll find a way to get the money. They will. It's all about value, you guys. It's all about value, and it takes practice and conversations for you to help somebody overcome some of these things. I'm not the network marketing type. You got to find out what type are they. If they're people who just love people and want to help people, they're the network marketing type. They just may have had a bad experience in the industry. Network marketing is really building a network of people that you can have great relationships around the world. Marketing is marketing a product. It's that simple. That's what we do, right? So, and get people to understand what network marketing really is, because a lot of people don't know. A lot of people have bad insights on what it is based on somebody else's failures or somebody else's bad experience, or maybe they had a bad experience themselves, had nothing to do with the company, had nothing to do with the people. It could have to do with maybe they just weren't handling objections and people weren't signing up, but that's a learning skill, right? So we're spending time on this stuff, you guys, because it's important. I know this network marketing, don't talk to me about it. ask them what they know about it. What do you know about network marketing? And I'm telling you, one thing that you're going to learn in all of this process, and I know I've gone through. I love objections, by the way. I love them. I used to fear them when I was new. I love them today because what I've learned over the years is whatever objection they throw at you is not the core objection. When you get to know them and you ask questions, you really understand the core. Somebody had a bad experience. Okay, so that's really what you'll find out, whether it's in network marketing or sales or something. Somebody has had a bad experience, or they don't think that they're the type of person could actually do this. But it's all learned skills. There's no type of people that are good at this. I didn't know anything about this stuff. I was the shyest person ever.
Yeah.
I learned some skills and I overcame some objections. I learned how to toughen my skin and not take anything personally.
Yeah.
And today, I love objections. I love them. Bring it
Yeah,
on.
me too, Tammy. Me too. I mean, we could go on. Obviously, guys, you can read the rest of the objections here. We're going to be handling them here. So let's move on to the next slide. But you're absolutely correct, Tammy. So let's kind of move forward here on how to handle objections, right? So number one is you want to relate to the prospect. There was a comment that was made by Dorothy at one point. I think she says, objections are not about you. Don't take it personally. It's about it's an opportunity to educate. Dorothy, I couldn't be more accurate. This is dead on. This is absolutely dead on. And by the way, folks, read some of the comments that are on the side here. Some of the folks are brilliant. So what happens here is how to handle objections, but relate to the prospect. Ask for clarity. Tammy was giving you an example. What do you feel? Why do you feel that way? Right? Ask them to expand on their concern. That is one of the basic principles of handling objections. Find out what's going on in their head, not what you think is happening, but what's going on in their head, because their perspective might be different from yours. Then it gives you an opportunity to understand. And this is the thing that also you can actually learn this concept from Stephen Covey on the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. It's been a while. I had to dig that one out. Where I don't remember what order this was, but learn to understand first and then be understood. This is a very important rule. That's why we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. Listen attentively. Don't look at your cell phone. Don't check your text. That's irrelevant, unimportant. These are distractions. If you go to the anyway, we can go on here because there's so many parallel I can bring up, but I don't want to make this call too long. So the fact here is listen carefully. Okay. And then what are they really saying to you? And if you pay attention, you can find what the triggers are that you can really focus your attention on for them to get a better understanding of what we're dealing with here. And use the expression, and I know any of you who has been in network marketing, you heard that at least one time. I mean, there's no way you haven't heard this. It's feel, fail, found. I know how you feel. I feel the same way, but here's what I found. This is the next slide. We'll kind of give some example here, but understand how they feel. Okay. So I understand how you feel. I felt the same way, or others have felt the same way. If maybe you're not silly, you don't want to lie. You want to always be honest. Very important. But here's what I found, right? Or here's what they found. Here's what I found when I look at God Backup. Here's what I found when I had an opportunity to speak with Joel or Eve or Mike. Or here's what I found when I was able to get to the bottom of what's going on and the reason why something was launched or said or emailed or whatever. Here's what I found. Okay. It's all about establishing clarity, folks. And when you do that, you become invincible, because now you're educating people instead of letting the assumption evolve into a cancer. That's how you help someone see the big picture. That's how you maintain an organization. That's how you create an empire. Feel, fail, found. People need to understand that you relate to them, You understand why they feel that way, and then start giving your version as to why you feel the way you're feeling towards the opportunity, towards the venture, towards the vision, whatever that may be for you at that time. You understand what my meaning is? That's the master of handling objections. That's the basic one. What we just explained here, clarity. Once you get this and they're explaining, listen, listen attentively. And then, okay, well, I can relate to what you're saying. I used to feel the same way. That's how this works. Tell me, how do we handle the objections? Let's go through this.
Yeah. So telling stories is what sells. They say facts tell, stories sell. People need to know that people are doing well with this, and you can use a feel, felt, found in the process, and help them overcome whatever past challenges they might have had in this industry. And always use third party credibility if you feel that you haven't moved them, and bring them into the story. I really want you to get to know Chris. You guys come from the same background,
Or
and
Tammy.
Chris, yeah, or whoever, right? You get to know the people you're working with, and you leverage a similar background, career background, and story to that person to get them to get on a conversation with the person that you're talking about, so you can bring that extra value for that person. Okay. So these are things that Chris and I got really good at over the years. And guess what? We still do it. We still bring third party validation. And you're probably saying, wow, you guys don't need to do that. No, but guess what? We teach them. We teach them that third party is part of the process. Bringing somebody in to validate is very important. And never argue and never be defensive. Ask questions. You got to ask questions. You got to be really good at asking questions. Why do you feel that way? Tell me more about that. And listen really good. Take the time to listen. Okay. That's when you're going to reach their hearts. You're going to reach the core. All right. So ask questions, seek to understand their real concerns and past experiences, and lead them to overcome their objections. I had a conversation, Chris. I want to tell a story because I had a conversation with a friend yesterday. We've
The
been
short version.
short version. We've been in business together for a long, long, long time, and we reconnected yesterday because I know that she hasn't been in the industry for a while. And we got talking, and a couple of people talked to her about Got Backup, and I told her that is such a great company, and I started creating value because she said no. And I started creating value. And then I said, you know what? Get back to the person. And I told her the person who was actually actively growing and building this business. I said, get back to that person, sit down with them before you move to Montreal, because she's moving to Montreal to do a course. And I said, get to see the big picture. And she says, I'm seeing it right now. So I helped create value on the story, and now she's willing to come back to the industry of network marketing through Got Backup. So that's what I'm talking about, the real life conversations that you'll have with people.
Tammy, I want to add something that Bill Suchak put here. You need to tell the story, connect emotionally, and get people to open up. Half the battle is connected. It's connecting. So the other person trusts you. That
Yes.
is right on point. Well done, Bill. Right on point. And Joel, thank you for joining us, Joel. I know you guys really appreciate your time here. Is listen to their needs and pain point. This is my point. If you pay attention and you listen to their pain point, and then you relate to that, that's the feel, felt, found. That's the exact situation, right? So that's what we're talking about here. Our CEO understands this. That really motivates me. He understands what we are doing, how most, in my experience, most CEOs or executives, they're not connected. to the field, right? They run the business as a business. We have executives that are involved, understands that's so important to evolve and grow. I could not stress this enough. Thank you, Joel, for sharing this. It's actually super powerful. So in moving forward here, folks, the thing here is questions, objections, right, that people may have. What you need about this service. Be prepared. We're telling you how to prepare. We're telling you the tools that you need in your toolbox, if you understand my meaning, your mental toolbox to be able to address what you need about your service. I can give you a quick example. Well, we're getting paid. I know we're going to have some examples, but our service actually will pay you for telling others about it. Oh, cool. And it's so much more, actually. It's so much more that's coming. And I'm going to leave it to that. So, I don't like networking. I can't do networking. Why is that? We're just giving you the question. Don't try to give them an answer like you know it all. That's not the point. The point is to open a conversation for them to start venting, if you understand what I mean. Give them a chance to share, and don't be offended by what they say. Listen, don't interrupt. Listen, and then let them talk. Right? Another one is no time, too busy. Use that. Everybody has time for something they value. They don't have time for something they don't value. Trust me. I get distracted by so many deals, so many stuff, and I have no time. But I'm doing this in a way that I'm converting them to come towards me. That's just experience. But the fact here is the no time, too busy. That's very common, right? Difficult to convince people. We're not convincing people. We're providing a service that honestly is a big need out there. I love what Dr. Asari or Dr. Kewe mentioned. Data is the new oil. Yeah, that's absolutely correct. If you see our presentations, you will notice what's going on in 2030. You're looking for a place to put your time, invest money. Well, invest $100 $120 a year, and bill and share with your social network. That could be the best investment you'll ever make in your career, because it creates a cash flow return, right? No money to start. Again, folks, we'll have some example on that a little later. But if you create value for what you provide, everybody can find the money. And let's face it, you start with either $30 or $120, right? Well, if you start with $3, then you pay your $10 a month. If you start at $120, then next year you'll be paying another $120. It's really expensive when you think about it, for the kind of opportunity to give you an income stream that can actually help you live a beautiful lifestyle. Do you understand my meaning? Again, is question, objections, be prepared. And when you listen to this video, you can pause it, take a snapshot, or right now, take a snapshot and start preparing, answering those kind of questions. So let's move on, Tammy, on handling a question on the service.
Yeah, and this should be the easy part for every single one of you. If you're showing up to learn, you're listening to the recordings, the videos, you're understanding all of this. 6 terabytes of data storage for $9.97, or they can choose to do a year. We always get people to see the bigger picture on the year up front, hassle-free, and save a couple months of payments. Most people are going to go, yeah, I want to do that. If they can't in the moment, don't let them backpedal to say, you know what, I'll just wait till I have the money and then I'll do the 99. No, get them in because they can upgrade down the road. Okay. So important. It includes up to 6 members. I always talk about this, you guys, constantly, because a lot of people, they don't even know how much 6 terabytes is, a lot of people. And I tell them there's so much value for your family today. People are looking for value. All adults are taking care of their kids' stuff. And this is a way to put the kids on. They have their own security, their own password. I explain that to people and they're on board. So it doesn't matter what devices, unlimited devices. Once you upload And it's really fast now. I don't know if you guys are doing uploads lately, but they're super fast. I'm super excited. So automatic backups and set and forget. That's great, to know that. And then you can access anything anywhere. That is a great feature because there's nothing worse than lugging extra weight in your bags when you're traveling and stuff like that. Like exactly Joel's story on why got backup exists today. Losing that drive. Oh my gosh, that's devastating to lose that, to lose your device, lose your drive. A fire could happen. I mean, we don't plan on any of this stuff to happen in our houses, but things happen, right? So the best thing to do is to have that security, peace of mind, to have stuff stored in the cloud. Whenever you need access to it, you just get it as you need it. It's so simple. And of course, you see all the videos for all the videos. There's 2 of them for the security, which is absolutely important to validate. These are great tools to validate this for you instead of you having to explain things. Use the tools, you guys. The tools are going to help you build this business.
Totally agree. So moving forward here, again, let me just go back here. Let me just put them all in here. Okay. Is that correct? Yeah. So handling objections, again, we're 140 countries around the world right now, 141, I believe, according to Joel, right? God Backup is unique in a sense that is the only company. And you have to see, sometimes people forget this. They're comparing us to Dropbox that's been around for 14 years, 800 million users, but they don't give you a dime, right? Google Drive, wonderful. I mean, they're great service, but they don't give you a dime. What if you partner with a company that gives you 3 times the space, right, for $10 a month, which also gives you an opportunity to earn an income? This is huge value. And folks, sometimes why they don't mention it is because maybe their belief in network marketing is not there. But I'm telling you, if it is there, it is a huge selling feature. God Backup is unique, right? We keep the business very simple. What you need to start, here's what you need to do to really start your business. First thing, install the software on your phone and on your computer so you can have a peace of mind. Use that to have a peace of mind, to have your data saved on the cloud. If something happens to your computer, to your devices, you can get these things back. Beautiful. Okay, here's the other thing you need to do. You need to tell 2 people about this service. Can you do that? Yeah, I can tell that. Okay. Once you've done, we'll position one. That's how we start. The rest will come later. But what you want them to leave with is not going through a university course and a compensation plan. No, is install the stuff, one on the left, one on the right. That's it. If this is multiplied 1,000 times, do you know how that's going to affect your business? Right? This is how you have to work at this. Keep it simple. People don't want complication. There's enough of that. You just open your TikTok, your Instagram, you open the TV, listen to the news, you go to YouTube, whatever. There's enough issues in the world. We got enough. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. We provide training, help to build your business. What is this going on here this morning? Every single Saturday. Did you guys have to pay extra fees for that? No. It's part of the service. Now, there's going to be some things in the future, I assure you, that are going to be presented so we can help you get a selected few of you that wants to earn, 6-figure yearly, and we'll work a course towards that. But what's important is the knowledge base for everybody. We call it a success cycle series. That's something that everybody has access to. We give you training to build your business, right? So provide training. People are making money with a price point of $10 a month. This is correct. I mean, some people are earning some good income, including ourselves. We're working hard right now because we're starting. But I'm telling you, folks, there will be a time where we're going to be waving the wave. We're always going to be around doing our things because we love it. And to be honest with you, Tammy and I feel like we have a more responsibility that when we sit on the top floor, we have to send the elevator back down to have others come up. And that's why we always keep doing these. We have a more responsibility. And it could be the reason why we've had some great success good karma, right? We only begun, and we keep growing and evolving. Folks, we're just getting started. Do you think that if you read the book from Steve Jobs, I forgot I think it's called Steve Jobs or Story. I forgot what it was called. It's a huge book. And I'll be honest, I listened to the audiobook because as I was walking and doing my things. And if you listen to his story of what he went through with Apple, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable what he went through. But the fact here is there's a point where you're going to begin, and as you begin, you're going to go through trialing times. You're going to go through some changes. You're going to make some adjustments. It's called life, and it's called adapting to the world as it evolves. Nothing ever stays the same ever. That's why the world evolving is so important. You need to also see, to invite people to complement your effort. We call it third-party credibility. That's why the training third-party credibility is so important for you. If you haven't listened to it, go back to the GVO Play YouTube channel. On the playlist on Success Cycles, there's some nice playlists there. And on Success Cycle, you'll find here inviting, following up, third-party credibility. Listen to that. We're giving you everything you need to know on how to invite someone to complement your efforts in building this opportunity. Right. So handling question, no time difficult to convince people. Let's carry on this one, Tammy.
Yeah. So when people talk about the no time and difficult convincing, as we shared, it's always about bringing value to people. People need to know that it's simple. They really need to know that. They need simplicity in today's world. So don't overwhelm them. Just say we have something so simple to get people started, and we teach people how to duplicate that simplicity, and everybody grows into their income, into their ranks. And then I'll even get to the point, if they want to, I'll even sit down with them, show them the simple system on a quick Zoom session, if it's something that they want to see before they make a decision to sign up. And we always talk about the best part is all the recorded sessions, because some people think they can't do it because they can't show up on Wednesday night because, the time zone doesn't work, or I'm working on those hours. Everything's recorded. So whenever you have the time, then you can sit down and listen to a recording and catch one of the trainings, so that's the best part about this industry, is we get to build it on the times we feel like building it. And while you're working full time, you can earn a part-time income by putting an extra 5 hours at the beginning, maybe, or 10 hours, whatever flexibility people have with their schedule. And I always talk about that based on their lifestyle, because I get to know them before I do this, right? Because if they have, 3 or 4 babies, people have parents that they're taking care of. People have responsibilities. So based on that, I'll work at the level that they're willing to put, and I'll show them what they need to do for the time they're willing to do this. And every conversation that you have with people, you guys, will be different. There's no one set rule, right? We're not in a job here. Everybody is a volunteer army building this at their own pace. All right. So understand that. And we have also short trainings for everybody. You explain that. And everything is in place for everybody to succeed. It's just a matter of showing up and learning some things, going out and practicing, and getting better and better.
Totally agree. And the thing, folks, is on Wednesday night, our CEO is presenting, and I suggest you come to this presentation because it's a different twist that Tammy and I do on Friday. On Friday, we're traditional, doing the process of the installing the software, how does this work, and everything else. But Joel actually will share his personal story as to why God Backup was created originally, based on his particular story. Now I'll let him share that. I suggest that you show up on Wednesday. Show up, and don't show up alone. Bring your team to help create value, to understand the logic behind this. So continuing on handling objection with the no money thing, folks, listen, create value around signing up, around the sign up commission. Sorry, I wrote this in a different way. I was thinking. So create value around the sign up commission. Because listen, if someone comes in for 1 year, you're getting exactly $49.97. Now, remember, the way this works is there's a little bit of money retained because when things are done online, transaction, it's not exactly, but you will receive it all. So let's say to round it off, you receive $50. So if you sponsor 20 people, do the math. That's 20 times $50. So at the beginning, folks, you don't have a downline yet. So don't start looking at, well, what have you done for me lately? What are my bonuses? How come I'm not getting paid? Well, are you recruiting anybody? Is anybody coming on board? Or you're just hoping for God to turn around and get people put underneath you because you deserve it because you're alive? I'm kidding around, but you understand my meaning, folks. We live in a society where there's a lot of entitlement. You owe me because I'm here. And this is not, we live in an economy today that things are changing. Maybe in the 80s that would work. Maybe even up to 2019, that would have worked. But with the big reset that we faced, everything changed. You need to produce. You need to bring value. If you bring value, you will do well. If you don't bring value, well, you'll be where you are. You'll stay. You'll remain where you are. So again, folks, I'm trying to tell you here that this is a comp plan that will reward you for the work you bring to the table. At the beginning, it's about bringing people on board. And when you do, if someone comes in with the $20 and their $10, right, which is $30, okay, you receive, if someone comes in and they come in with a $10 a month, you receive $20. Hello. That's 200% from the $10. And if they came in with the $100, which is my better package, I find it's awesome because you pay one time for the year. It's always my selection, and that's the way I sell it also. You get $50. Do the math, folks. Create value on the sign-up commission. People will find a way. If they need to start with $30 and upgrade later, they can always do that. If they want to start with $120, cool. Okay, awesome. And if they want to get the upsells, and I do recommend, because the email marketing, the VIP, I use it all the time in my business, and have served us well. So of course I'm going to talk about it. But the bottom line, $30 you start, or $120 every year. From that point on, you get paid commission. That's how you said. So if someone needs to borrow money from mom and dad, wait, I need to borrow $30, mom or dad or me, whatever, right? And then the moment the commission is there, you pay it back. Again, folks, people will find a way when they see value. So the no money thing, it's just an excuse to justify the lack of interest. That's really what it is. Tammy, is there anything else? In fact, let me move on to the next one, because I think this is a good one. We picked deliberately a face that I felt was very, back to you.
It's okay if they say no, you guys. Often no means not now. People are busy in their lives, or maybe the value wasn't created yet. Maybe they're just closed-minded today because you caught them on a day that you're just not happy. It happens, right? So find a way in the conversation to reconnect with them. Just say, oh my gosh, I can see you got a lot on your plate, and maybe now is not a good time for us to have this conversation. When do you think would be a better time for us to connect? And you know what? They give you times. I don't honestly, I don't get anybody anymore that says no to me, because I've learned how to communicate. At the beginning, I had it, but I was learning, and I had to learn how to toughen my skin. But today, it's not now. If the timing's not working for people, it's a not now. Otherwise, people will make a decision. Remember, people want to do business with people that they know, they like, and they trust. When you bring value, it's important, very important. Okay. And if you can't bring that value because you're brand new, don't sweat the small stuff. Bring them to Joel's presentation. Bring them to your team presentations. Bring them to Friday if they have the time on Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern time to our presentations. And then have somebody connect with you to that person so that you can listen how they're asking questions and handling objections so you learn how to do it. But don't be dependent, because I find a lot of people, they just want everything so easy. And they just, oh, I'll just get that person to do it for me. No, you have to learn from that. That's what Chris and I did. We would learn, and then eventually our sponsors, they just kind of they allowed us to spread our wings, and they stopped doing the work. And if we needed them down the road, then they'd be there on that second conversation if there was one necessary to bring more value. But try and do this stuff on your own, you guys, because people are buying you first. And if you keep pushing you out of the way and pushing it on somebody else, you no longer have value to that person. So become valuable. Very, very important message. Give information, tell stories, and don't make it all about got back up. All right. Make it about them. Get to know what their goals and desires and dreams are, and listen to them when they're stuck, because that's when you're emotionally connecting to them, and it means a lot to them. Believe it or not, it means a lot to them. Okay. And if they're not interested, they don't want to make any money. I don't know anybody who doesn't want to make any money. That is an objection you could probably overcome if you deal with the core of, I've done this before, I didn't make money before. Often that would happen, but become a customer. Try it out as a customer first. I mean, the value of the product is massive, right? And ask for referrals. If somebody says no to you, it's an absolute no. Ask for referrals. If they like you, they know you, like you, trust you, people will give you referrals, or maybe not immediately, but when they're connecting with people, they may say, I got a friend of mine by the name of Tammy who's doing this, and she was telling me about this, and I think it would be something that would align for you. Let me give you her number. People will refer people if they really like them. So remember that too.
I agree, and I want to follow up on a comment that Joel made here. There is value in the product, and there is and there is massive value. Sorry, as people could comment, and there is massive value in you as their sponsor. I mean, Joel is brilliant. He comes up with some really powerful. This is the reason I'm bringing this up here, folks. Is there's value in the product, and if the people start backing up their stuff, there's an emotional connection to the fact that our data is stored in safe. It's like an insurance policy. When you have this insurance policy, suddenly you have that sense of peace and serenity. It's, if something doesn't, at least I know that's covered, right? That's the sign, that kind of feeling to get. But the other thing is there's massive value in their sponsor. Their sponsor is the person that's going to keep them engaged, keep them motivated, keep them to see the big picture. And this is so brilliant because it's absolutely accurate. And I really appreciate all the comments here that you're passing on. For example, Jack here talking about the feel, fell, found. It's not a new concept, and learned this about 40 years ago. These are constants. These are things that I remember learning this way back when I first started network marketing when I was 23 years old. I'm 58 right now, so it's been a while back, right? So very, very important. So folks, as we end here, right? There's two more slides, really. We're done sharing what we had to share. But the summary is objections will always be encountered, right? Remember, you may once had an objection yourself, right? Once upon a time. Go back to this time and kind of put yourself in the shoes of that person you're exposing, the information to. Be patient, be receptive, pay attention, and practice and apply the key concept that we talked about. This is going to make a world of difference into your business. And that it might apply not only into your business, but your relationship with your wife, with your husband, with your kids, with your boss, with your coworkers. This concept is very, very important. Is feel, fail, found, and relate. Pay attention to what they're saying. Establish clarity. Educate. That's really what it's all about. Your job is to help your prospect to overcome the limiting beliefs. And that is done. Again, I'm not a shrink or anything like that. Sorry for using this expression. Sometimes as a French person, I don't have all the right words in English, but as a person that helps dealing with challenges, okay, because some of you here might be listening and you may be have a doctorate on that. What do they do? They have no idea what's going on in your life. They're asking you questions, and they're taking notes. And based on their upbringing and learning and what they've, their experiences, they're able to help you overcome the challenges that's going on in your mind to help you deal with them. It's really interesting, but this is the best analogy. This is what handling objection is to help the person deal with their limiting beliefs by understanding what's going on in there. That's how you move forward. That's how you build a relationship. This is why people will stay with you no matter what happens. When people tell me, "Well, my people are quitting, that's quitting, people are quitting," okay, let's understand what's happening. I mean, let's do a call with your team. Let's figure out what's happening. Let us help you create some credibility around what we're trying to do and maybe around you. Right. So again, these are the way that Tammy and I have been mentoring. And being successful in network marketing, folks, there's no such thing as luck. Because in this business, you either grow or implode. Nothing ever stays in the center. Unless you do something, you work all the time, and then something goes down, and then you always that's not a nice place to live in. I'm talking, you always want to grow, and by doing this is by creating this relationship, this emotional connection, understanding. Like Tammy stated right at the beginning, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. That's what's going to get people to stick around you, because they feel comfortable around you. They feel they have a home. This is what we got. We got back up. We have a home. Tammy and I found a home, and we're building an empire with it. Any one of you who wants to be part of that, just follow the guidelines. We don't have to be in the same downline, folks. We just need to work within the same community. And I know that Joel is working on a project right now that's going to create a massive, beautiful community within the God Backup. Telegram is okay, but when you post something and it scroll 100, it's difficult to follow. But to have a community so we can start collaborating and everything else, folks, this is going to change everything. So lots of good things are coming forward. Stay the course and don't let the little problems get in the way of the bigger dreams. In summary, Tammy, let's kind of summarize here what we have.
I hope everybody took a screenshot while Chris was, doing the final thoughts with everybody. Take a screenshot of this, because these are the resources. Obviously, the gotbackup.com is the company website, and you've got the login link, and you've got boards. Maybe Chris, you can explain what's going on with boards right now, and the company boards, and then you've got the Telegram group, and you've got the Facebook group. So it's extremely important to stay connected. You got to know what's going on today, not 6 months ago. Or I talked to people and they still haven't even updated to the 2.0. And then we got started and they said, "Oh my gosh, this is so simple." I said, "I know, it's exciting, hey?" And you get people excited. But you got to follow up with people and make sure people are plugged in. Absolutely.
So, folks, this is really the last slide here. Now, the board, folks, the company has changed rules on us a little bit. They threw a little bit of a curveball. And if you install the board and you create your own board, you're only allowed to have one board for free. So if you have a board already and then you click on our board, it's going to ask you to create an account, which is free, and to log in. And once you're logged in, if you realize that there's a board already, it's going to say, "Oh, sorry, you need to pay," which is something $100 and some for the year. Okay. Now, the fact here is you can use another email, really. Okay. So that's one thing, to create another account with board. But, the point is that we're working a work around that, where all this information will be embedded into the God Backup community. So I know right now, if you go to the extra tools, you can see some of the videos are there, but all the PowerPoint presentations, and I know some of you have your own presentation, and that's totally cool, but at least we'll have a foundation for you to access everything that's on the board. But right now you can access this. You can. Okay. So if you don't have a board, you click on that. It's going to ask you to create an account. And once you do, it's all free and everything else. The board will show it. Then you have access to all of it. But if you have a board you create for your own team, and then you start having the board that we created, then that's when it catches you. So I'm not really proud of board for that. It's a bit of a curveball that we all have to submit to. So we're making some adjustments, but we want you, that's what Tammy meant by explaining what's going on. But the fact is all the information is there. Okay. But we will transport this in an area where you don't need to really install anything and everything else. But for the time being, that's where the data is. The other thing I'd like to touch on briefly here, guys, if I may just focus on the YouTube channel that we currently have. Hello. Okay. My computer's a little slow right now. So let's go to YouTube and usually it's a lot quicker than that, but okay, of course, perfect timing. Okay, no, just bear with me here, guys. I just have to do this. Okay, so let's go here. Hello. Okay, so from there, let's go into the channel. So if you go to if you search for global virtual opportunity, I'm going to put this right now in the comment section. Okay. So you go to YouTube and search for this, and you will find this channel. Okay. If you go under playlists, okay, then you will find that there's different groups here. Okay. We have the African presentation. We have here the training this morning that they're all there. We have French presentation, Italian presentation. We have the Friday presentations. And of course, we have Joel's Wednesday's presentation. They're all here. Now, when you click on this and you click on the view the full playlist, you'll notice inviting, following up, third-party credibility, prospecting, mastery, and handling objections, which is live at the moment. Okay. So the point here, folks, that I'm sharing this with you. So you have the right tools around you to be able to support your building efforts. So I really recommend you go through these modules and equip yourself with the right tool to build your business. And that's really the session today, is handling objections, but equip yourself with the right tools. Folks, I truly, truly see God Backup as a company that is going to be absolutely massive. And the reason why I'm telling you this again is that God Backup is not just a backup service. It's also a complete marketing system that gives you the opportunity to earn an income, to subsidize, or even to create a lifestyle for you. This is what we got. And I'm telling you, folks, that Tammy and I are going to be going all the way to the moon with this one. We're not stopping. And just come along for the ride. And if your belief is not there yet, that's okay. Your belief will grow with time. I promise you that. So, Tammy, as we end, any last words?
Yeah, somebody was asking for all the resources, Chris. Just wanted to mention that. I tried to put it in the chat, but I wasn't able to. It's not allowing me to. Maybe because I don't have the control.
Okay. I'm not sure what you were talking about, folks, but we can always communicate. What it'll do is we can always add some information on our Telegram group. So make sure you're connected there. And also,
okay, I'll put it through the Telegram group then.
That's right. Okay. So folks, let's close this training right now. So thank you so much, everybody, for attending. We hope you got some good knowledge from this. And thank you, Joel, and all of you here, guys, that contributed so much into this training. Really, really appreciate you. So have yourself a great, great Saturday, rest of your Saturday. And remember that Wednesday, Joel does his presentation. Friday, we do ours. I know on Sunday, there's another presentation that's going to be, that's added on with the African community. So beautiful, beautiful presentation. They're awesome. There's a lot of people that show up there. So take advantage of these. I know that there's French presentation, Italian presentation. Take advantage of all of those. So have yourself a great rest of your weekend, everybody. And thank you. Bye for now.
Thanks for joining us, guys.